Futurama takes place 1,000 years from now in New York City, which is a city built on the ruins of New York City. You know, all my life I've been fascinated by a whole bunch of stuff in our culture. For instance, I love the American family. And so with The Simpsons, that was my take on the American family. So what I've done to the American family with The Simpsons, we're going to do to science fiction with Futurama.
As far as the look, it's Matt Groening's drawing style. And hopefully that will give it a little familiarity that people appreciate, while at the same time he's given it a lot of strange twists that you would never see in The Simpsons. And we have aliens and bizarre creatures of every type.
The great thing about Futurama, I think, is that if you love science fiction, this is going to be heaven, because this has a lot of science fiction elements in it that we really run with. And if you hate science fiction because it's so stupid, you're going to love this. Because we do to science fiction what needs to be done. We poke fun at all the ridiculousness and the absurdity of science fiction, and at the same time, we honor it.
There could be any amount of time from one day to a year between when we think of the idea for the story and actually begin talking about it in earnest. But once we begin talking about it in earnest, we put a few days into that process. Then someone goes out and writes the script for 3 or 4 weeks. Then a group of writers, usually somewhere between 5 and 8 of us, sit around the table for a week straight, basically all day, every day, just kind of combing over every line. And this is the same process The Simpsons goes through, basically, just trying to pack it with the density of material that people are used to from The Simpsons. After that, we have the table reading, in which we get to hear the actors actually perform it and see if the lines are anything like what we imagined when we were writing it. And then we do a little rewriting based on that. So all in all, it probably adds up to about 2 months from the initial discussions to when we end up recording the show.
I did hundreds of different kinds of designs for each character before I arrived on the vague, crude design that then I gave to professional designers, and they sort of cleaned up a little. Then I took their cleaned up version and I made them crude again, and that's the result of what you see on the air.
Basically, he's laying out all the key poses of animation, which are later filled in and animated. In this case, how to draw a bender, and it basically breaks down, you know, his raw construction so that even though we have 30 layout people, they're all drawing bender theoretically exactly the same way. The layout people start out with an approved storyboard, which you can see out here, which is basically just a comic book almost of the script, and from there we go to layout, which are all the poses broken down, and these guys try and follow the storyboard as closely as possible. Well, eventually it's stripped out, pasted down onto the official storyboard pages, where the dialogue and the action is also stripped down. So basically that's what Matt and the writers get. So this is a color lineup of all the lead characters that we're actually color keying in the computer, which basically means picking out the actual colors that the characters and all their wardrobe will be. These are the 4 main characters, Fry, Bender, Leela, and the Professor, and these are rough colors that we're blocking out that eventually will evolve to be the final approved color.
All the 3D models start off as a 2D cleanup drawing that the artists upstairs do, and then basically the drawing comes down here, we map it into the computer, and they essentially build the model directly off of the drawing. The motion of each part is really easy to adjust. So Eric will show you right now that just by sliding a few things, he can get a complex motion to occur, like the opening up of the front bay, the lowering of the back feet, and the cargo bay are all adjusted with a single slider for each object.
One of the great things about this is still, I'm still doing it. I'm still getting away with it. I can't believe it. This is what I used to get in trouble for doing in school. This is what they used to rap my knuckles with the ruler about. You know, you're drawing, you're wasting your time. Don't draw those rocket ships. Wham! You know, and now I'm doing it. It's great.